today I've got a little bit of a different video. It's going to be a Q&A about voice acting. Because I had a couple people ask me like where I started doing it, what software I use, what my mic is. Yeah, I just had a few people ask me, so I was like, why not make a video? So this is said video for everyone who's wondering. Okay, so the main question I get is what kind of mic I use. I actually purchased a refurbished mic. It was a Blue Yeti, and I got that mic specifically because it had a built-in interface, and it lets me control the gain and everything via the mic, rather than messing with a little box that I didn't quite understand fully. I'm still learning. So I definitely have been more in like video editing and such rather than voice editing. I've always used my phone or my little handheld camcorder for recording, and they both have built-in mics to them. But I'll have like a little video of my mic setup inserted somewhere here. The second question I get a lot is what software I use. And honestly, all I use is Audacity. Audacity has like never failed me. I love it. It's got all kinds of cool plugins you can download. It's just, I like it. It helps me. It allows me to do my noise reduction. I do advise watching a short like video on how to use Audacity, because if you just go in not knowing how to use it, it can be a little overwhelming or underwhelming depending on what kind of software you're used to using. But yeah, Audacity, I recommend that. It's great. And for those of you wondering about my video editing software I use, I actually use DaVinci Resolve. It is also free, so it's very nice. It has all the little bells and whistles. You can also do a one-time payment for the entire like software, so you don't have to worry about making payments every month for like a subscription. It's a one-time pay, and then you get the whole shebang for free. Well, you know, after you pay for it. The next question I get a lot is, where do I go to start voice acting? Like, where do I go? And the place that I actually got my first voice acting gig was YouTube. I helped a fellow creator with some of his comic animations, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's what got me into it. But the first like place I got my first gig was YouTube, so it's good to collaborate with people to see if it's meant for you, see if you can do good on it, or if you feel like it'll be something that you'll actually enjoy. Now, the second place I recommend would be ACX. That is Amazon's like audiobook. Apply just by signing up, putting in some auditions, and putting it out there. ACX is like strictly audiobook. I haven't seen anything other than audiobook reading on there. So if you're not interested in audiobook, I recommend Casting Call Club. Now, Casting Call Club, it's rare to get paid jobs from there. You can if you're really good at it, but there is a huge, like, it's a free market, so there is a huge amount of people on there putting in auditions for any kind of paid job. So it's good to start small and build yourself up, like build up a good portfolio, and like start with a couple free projects, like in your spare time. I work a lot. It's hard to have like a lot of spare time, but I still pick like a free project that I feel like I could help someone do. And I really like helping bring people's like dreams to life with like their animations or their books. It's really hard to put that stuff out there, and then it's definitely hard to do it when you're like a starving artist. So it's good for everyone to work together and collaborate a little bit at least until everyone starts getting on their feet. Now, another one that I really like is Upwork. Upwork is kind of like a pay to play, I would say, but they start you out with free free tokens. I can't remember what they're called on there. I think it's like coins or tokens or something like that. Yeah, I think it's something like that. But they give you free tokens. You can buy more, but every like amount of tokens you get, you use to apply for a audition. If you want to put in an audition for this job, you have to pay like 8 tokens. Some of them might be 20 tokens depending on the pay of the job or like how easy it is. It'll depend on how many tokens that you need to pay to do it. And I feel like if you have a good portfolio set up, that one's a really good one to go to and start putting in auditions. That's where I got my very first paid gig, was on Upwork. So I definitely recommend it. Also, Fiverr is a good one. I haven't gotten any gigs on Fiverr yet, but it's still a good little place to put a gig and stuff on in case there's any passerbys. Especially in the beginning, you want to get as much of like your audio out there as possible and use as many of the free websites as you can. I know there's a couple websites that I think it's like Bunny Studios and let's see, there's one something Jungle. There's a couple of them that you have to actually wait to be approved to use their website. You probably want to get your audio really well edited and such before you apply to some of those. But yeah, there's a couple of them that are kind of like a pay to play, I like to call them. But those are more likely for you to get your job on because you're paying to put your stuff out there. And I feel like studios and stuff go to those more because if you're paying to be on a website, they see that as more you're trying a lot harder to actually get the gigs. When in the big picture, when studios are looking at all the people, they're not going to go to a free website. When they get like 50 of them in there that has background noise, there's a dog barking, you get that a lot on free websites. Casting Call Club is a little bit bad about that, but it has so many it has so much good talent there that it's worth hopping on there. And a lot of people can listen to your audio too. Every time you audition, it leaves your audio up on that audition and others can come through and actually hear your audio. Or if they're curious if you're good, then they can hear how you auditioned for it. So your audition is free to listen to for everyone. So it can put you out there more, which is really cool. And I feel like it's kind of like a Casting Call Club has like a little bit of a social media aspect where you can comment and like other people's like auditions. I feel like it helps bring creators together as well. Even though a lot of the projects are for free, but I still recommend it just because it's a very fun place to be. I haven't run into any toxic community members. It's all been really it's been great so far. Now, another question I get is like, how much do you charge for your voiceovers? Your voiceovers or your animation voices. There's a bunch of different ways I do it. With books, I charge by the hour. I do anywhere between $50 to $100 an hour for books. That's mostly because books take up a lot of time and it's easier to keep track of the hours when you're reading a book. You can time yourself and you can actually keep track of how many hours it took you to edit. And you can do that with regular voice acting jobs and stuff too, not just audiobooks. Say if you have like a couple one-liners that you're doing, if you start recording your time, then record your one-liners, do your editing, see how much time it took, and then break it down to how much you want to charge, which that's perfectly fine too. But for me, I do like $5 a line for animations and for games because it's a lot of just one-liners and you have to spend a lot of time editing it. So I just charge per the line so that I can keep track of it a lot easier. But I also want to emphasize, do free projects. Work with your people. Collaborate with people in your community. It helps build your portfolio is the main thing. And the more your portfolio is built up, the more studios and businesses will look at you. I know a lot of people want to join like unions and such, but a lot of times unions go on strike, and then when unions are on strike, then you're going to be short on money. And especially if you do this as like a full-time job, which I do not. That's why I kind of I charge my own rates. But I hit my straw. But if you want to do a union, that's also a really good like opportunity. You join a union and they'll set your pay, so you don't actually have to do all the math for that. And it keeps the market fair having a union. I'm working at a job that doesn't like unions very much, so I guess no jobs like unions. But it would be in my best interest to avoid being in a union. But yeah, again, on the free projects, it's really good to collaborate and actually get your voice out there. Let it be heard by many. Oh, and then another thing about the studio I forgot to mention, you can rent out a studio or you can create your own studio. It's a lot cheaper to create your own studio because you don't have to pay like a monthly fee for it. I advise just buying some soundproofing, or even like some soundproof, like, what do you call them? You can buy like huge panels of soundproofing, like giant ones. I recommend like buying a couple of those and creating like a sound booth, which I don't have anything in here for that. I have a different room for the voice recording and such, which I'll show that in the video at some point. But I have most of the wall soundproof, and I face the soundproofed wall when I do my voiceovers. And another good thing about the Blue Yeti mic is it cancels out a lot of background noise, so you don't have to worry as much. I still go through and clean it up and make sure to do my noise reduction to make sure there's no background noise coming through at all, because you want it to be as clear as possible. But yeah, just make sure you have some kind of like soundproofing. Even a closet will work. If you have a closet full of clothes, hop in that closet. Go in there, live your life. It works great as soundproofing, but you have to have a lot of clothes in there, because if the walls are empty, you get that echo, which you could probably hear an echo in here because the walls are empty. I do have the popcorn ceilings, which help reduce sound a lot. Like the popcorn ceilings are good to have. If you don't have a popcorn ceiling, you can put soundproofing up on the ceiling, or you can even cover over your whole, like if you can get your lines on your phone, you can cover yourself up with a blanket with your mic underneath there with you and do your voice recordings. That's really good soundproofing as well. Now the last question is, why do you do it? I saved this one for last because I just wanted to express how much joy I found in doing it. The first time I voice acted, I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. I'll see how it is. And then when I did it, I saw the finished product. I was just like, wow, like I really love this. Like this is fun. Like this is just my calling almost, is what it felt like. Because I already love like talking to you guys and like getting in front of a camera, like just being able to share my story with people, and then being able to like do this and share my voice more. I'm like, wow. I don't know. It was like a huge like brain explosion for me. It was like, is this my calling? Like it was kind of like that for me. I got really excited and I was like, I love it. But all in all, those are my most asked questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have more questions, just put them down in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best I can. If I get a bunch of them, I'll make another video. If it's just kind of like a basic amount, I'll just answer them in the comment. Like Twitter, send me a private message. Go to my Instagram, you can send me a private message if you're not comfortable in asking questions in the comments. But that's all I have for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this, like writing down all the questions, and I was like, ooh, I felt so professional. But let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments below. And if you liked it, give me a like. If you still liked it, you don't have to give me a like either. I don't care. Do as you please, whatever makes you comfortable. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.